A16YEAROLD made a bet with his best friend inside Roblox. 30 days offline. Whoever logs on first loses. His friend accepted. That was October 14th. On October 17th, just 3 days later, his friend went offline and never came back. No goodbye, no explanation, no body. Just one final message that said 3 words. Don't look for me. The police couldn't help. Roblox support couldn't help. Nobody could find him. But here's what makes this story different from every missing person case you've ever heard. On day 30, exactly 30 days after the bet started, the account came back online for 4 minutes. And when it went offline again, the username had changed. I'm going to tell you what it changed to. But not yet. Because first, you need to understand who GhostByte really was and why what happened to him might not have been an accident at all. The person who sent me this story asked me to call him Rex Frost. That's his username. He didn't want his real name used, and after you hear everything, you'll understand why. Rex Frost was 16 when this happened. Normal kid, small town, nothing interesting ever happened there. His life was basically school, home, and Roblox, in that order, but honestly kind of reversed. He'd met GhostByte 2 years earlier. Randomly matched on a server. They started talking in chat, moved to voice calls, and just never stopped. Different cities, different schools, never met in person. But they talked every single day. Rex Frost told me, and I'm quoting him directly, GhostByte knew more about me than anyone sitting next to me at school. It sounds pathetic, but that's just how it was. It was real. They had their routines, late-night calls while grinding games, ranking every Roblox game they'd ever played, making fun of each other's builds. The kind of friendship that feels completely normal until you try to explain it to someone who doesn't get it. And then one night in early October, completely out of nowhere, GhostByte said, "I bet you can't survive 30 days without logging on." Rex Frost laughed, said, "Make it interesting." "Fine, 30 days. Whoever breaks first buys the other one Robux." They shook on it. October 14th. Both went offline. Neither of them thought it was anything more than a dumb bet between friends. They were wrong. What Rex Frost didn't know, what he had absolutely no way of knowing, is that 3 days before that bet, GhostByte had told someone else something. Something that, if Rex Frost had heard it, he would have called off the whole thing immediately. I'll tell you what he said in a moment. But first, the first week of the bet. The first few days were easy. They weren't supposed to contact each other through Roblox, that was the rule, but nobody said anything about texting. Day 3, Rex Frost sent a message. Just trash talk. Day 3, you cracking yet? GhostByte replied almost instantly. You wish you're gonna fold by the weekend. Normal, funny, totally fine. Day 5, Rex Frost sent a meme. GhostByte replied with a worse meme. Day 7, nothing. Rex Frost figured he was just busy, didn't think twice. Day 8, still nothing. He texted again. Bro, you alive? No reply. Day 9, nothing. Day 10, Rex Frost was starting to feel that specific kind of uncomfortable that you feel when something's off but you can't explain why. He sent one more message. Okay, seriously, you good? This time, GhostByte replied. 3 words. Don't look for me. Rex Frost sent back a question mark, then another message, then a voice note, then called twice. Nothing. He sat there staring at those 3 words on his screen and tried to convince himself it was part of the bit. That GhostByte was being dramatic, that this was just him committing to the mystery. But that feeling in his stomach, that quiet, cold, specific feeling, did not agree. Remember I said GhostByte had told someone something 3 days before the bet even started. On October 11th, he'd messaged a girl from one of their old servers. Someone neither of them knew well, and he'd said, I've been thinking about just disappearing for a while. Going somewhere quiet, somewhere nobody can reach me. Does that sound crazy? She'd said no, it didn't sound crazy. She thought he meant like a vacation or something. She had no idea. And here's the part that made Rex Frost physically sick when he found out. That message was sent at 11:47 p.m. on October 11th. The bet started October 14th. GhostByte had already been planning to disappear before the bet even happened. The bet was just cover. Rex Frost broke the bet on day 14. He went back on Roblox, technically losing, and went straight to GhostByte's profile. Last online, October 17th. 3 days after the bet started, 3 days after that last normal text. He started going through everything he had, which wasn't much. A username, a city, a mid-sized city a few hours away, no last name, no school, no address. Just voice calls, chat logs, and 2 years of memories. He posted in their shared Roblox groups asking if anyone had heard from GhostByte. Most people barely knew him. A few said they hadn't seen him either. And then that girl messaged him, the one GhostByte had talked to on October 11th. She sent him the full conversation. Rex Frost read it 3 times. Then he went to his parents. His parents helped him contact the police in GhostByte City. But the problem was massive and immediate. He had almost nothing real to give them. No full name, no address, no family contact. Just screenshots and a username. The police said they'd look into it. They never called back. Rex Frost waited. Kept checking the profile. October 17th, October 17th, October 17th. The date never changed. Weeks passed. And then came November 20th. November 20th. Day 30 of the bet. The exact day it was supposed to end. Rex Frost was sitting at his desk, not even thinking about it, when his phone buzzed. A Roblox notification. GhostByte was online. Rex Frost's hands were shaking when he opened the app. He went straight to GhostByte's profile. Active, online right now. He sent a message immediately. Where have you been? Are you okay? Please, answer me. He watched the screen. Typing indicator appeared. Then disappeared. Then appeared again. Then disappeared. And then the account went offline. 4 minutes. That was all. No reply, nothing. But when Rex Frost looked at the profile again, something had changed. The avatar. The character GhostByte had used for 2 years, the one Rex Frost could recognize instantly, was gone, replaced with a completely black figure, no face, no items, no color, just black, and the username, where it used to say GhostByte. It now said, I kept my end of the deal. Rex Frost stared at that for a long time. Then he started screaming for his parents. He reported the account, contacted Roblox support, sent updated screenshots to the police, filed everything he could. The account never came online again. Support told him the account showed no suspicious third-party access. Whoever logged in on November 20th did so with the correct password, from a device that had logged in before. It was GhostByte, or someone who had complete access to everything GhostByte had. The case was never officially opened. No real identity was ever confirmed. No missing persons report was ever filed under that name because nobody knew what name to file it under. And here's the last thing. The thing Rex Frost told me at the very end of our conversation after everything else. He said, I went back through every voice call we ever had. Hours and hours of recordings. And about 3 weeks before the bet, in the middle of a totally normal session, GhostByte just randomly said, if I ever actually disappeared, would you even know where to start looking? And I laughed. I said, bro, I'd find you in like a day. And he said, no you wouldn't, and that's okay. I thought he was just being weird, being GhostByte. I never thought he was telling me something. I don't know what happened to GhostByte. Nobody does. Maybe he chose to disappear. Maybe he's somewhere quiet right now, living exactly the life he wanted, offline and unreachable and free. Maybe the 4 minutes on November 20th were him, proving he'd won the bet. Saying goodbye in the only way he knew how. Or maybe it wasn't him at all. And whoever, or whatever, changed that username did it knowing exactly what it meant. I kept my end of the deal. Think about that. The deal was 30 days offline. He made it to 30 days. The question is what exactly he had to do to keep that promise. Rex Frost still plays Roblox. He checks the profile sometimes. The black avatar is still there. The username is still there. He told me the last thing he ever said to GhostByte in a voice call, totally normal before any of this, was "same time tomorrow." GhostByte said, obviously, there was no tomorrow. What do you think happened? Did GhostByte plan this from the beginning? Was someone else controlling that account on day 30, or is there a darker explanation that we're all missing? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you have a story, something that happened to you or someone you know inside Roblox, send it to me. Because the stories I get sent are getting stranger every week. And next time is going to be worse than this one. I'll see you there.